friends, and welcome to the video. I'm Olivia, and if you've never seen my face before, you can consider me your fragrance-obsessed internet best friend, here to bring you all the tea on all things fragrance. And if you have seen my face before, hi friends. We are going to be talking about blind buy-worthy fragrances under $50. I know that affordability is incredibly subjective to each individual, but I think that $50 and under is in the affordable category for a lot of people. I thought about doing $100, but you can get some designer fragrances for that price, so I wanted to focus on specifically 50 and under to keep this very budget friendly. If you're interested in seeing a niche version of this next week, leave me a comment down below. Now, before I get into the perfumes, one thing that I would like to say is that blind buy worthy is also very subjective to each individual. You could have a fragrance that 99% of people like, but the 1% is going to be so incredibly loud. So let's not even bother with that in the comments today. I'm not saying that every single person is going to like these fragrances, but I'm going to try to break it down with an explanation as to who I think this would be a blind buy worthy fragrance for specifically. Now that I've got my disclaimer out of the way, let's get rolling. First on my list is an affordable Arab fragrance, and this is called Yara by Lattafa. This is going to be for those of you who like a creamy, smooth, musky, slightly sweet fragrance. And a lot of people have said that this smells like strawberries and cream, but to me, the fruits in this are not very pronounced. You're getting a silky vanilla that feels a little bit like shea butter texture. Imagine it is a very luxurious hair conditioner. This is going to be perfect for those of you who like something smooth and sweet, inoffensive, that is going to give you a nice little scent bubble and last a decent amount of time for a good price. So if you like something that's kind of neutral, a little bit sweet, this one might be your girl. So that is Yara by Lattafa. Now, if you're a vanilla fan, but you want something quite a bit sweeter, you're looking for an affordable gourmand, this one is going to be for you. So this is Sol de Janeiro Cheirosa 71. This is a delicious, ultra syrupy sweet caramelized vanilla. It also has macadamia, so you're gonna get a little bit of this fatty, rich nuttiness. It almost smells like toffee popcorn. It is just so sweet. It's so rich, but I will say that this is definitely a winter or fall fragrance. If it's in high heat, this can be quite suffocating, but I think these are only about $25. And because this has a richer scent profile in comparison to a lot of the body mist from Sol de Janeiro, this one lasts a very decent amount of time. I wore this to a show. I was told that I smelled like Eggo waffles. So I guess like syrup. It actually stayed on me the entire night, so I was very impressed with this. And if you pair this with pumpkin pecan waffles body lotion from Bath & Body Works, you will smell so good and so sticky and delicious. So it's a safe blind buy for those of you who love gourmands. This next one will be a safe blind buy for those of you who really like citrus fragrances. So this is Calvin Klein Women EDT, and you can often find this in discount stores like TJ Maxx or Ross or Marshall's. I picked this up for $30 at Marshall's, I think. And this is a citrusy, floral, slightly unisex and slightly peppery fragrance. If you used to wear Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana, I think that you would like this. The florals are a little bit more pronounced, but the projection and the performance of this, I think that Calvin Klein is an incredibly underrated house. So if you find some Calvin Klein fragrances, and you can often find them at discount stores, I would pick them up, especially women, because this is a refreshing, musky, light and airy, but still very strong fragrance that will be really, really good for hot weather. Another one that's going to be really good for hot weather, and these are super duper affordable. I think they're only $14. This is a body mist from Saltair, and this is called Pacific Pear. So you have notes of juicy pear, jasmine, and sandalwood. And to me, the jasmine in this is pretty pronounced, but it actually kind of comes off a little bit more like gardenia. So you get this green, dewy, fresh floral that is very light and sheer. It's not heavy and cloying and very suffocating like a very mature fragrance, but then it's brightened up with this really juicy, slightly green pear. So imagine the halfway point between a super ripe pear and a super green pear, right in the middle, that perfect consistency. That's what you're going to get out of this. So it predominantly smells to me very floral with some fruitiness, and I mean, you can't go wrong at the price of $14. If you like the smell of fruity shampoos, that's kind of what you're gonna get out of this. And the lasting power is pretty decent on this one, given that it is a $14 body mist and it has kind of a little bit of light sheerness to it. I was surprised that this, layered with a gardenia lotion, oh my god, smells incredible. You smell like springtime. So although this is hot weather approved, you could wear this in early spring and smell like fresh rainfall, flowers, and juicy fruits. For those of you who like something that's minimalistic, effortless, that clean girl aesthetic, that perfect everyday sort of fragrance, you'll want to try this one. This is by Dime Beauty, and this is called Core Memory. Now this one is getting closer to our $50 range. This is $48, but I have a little discount code I will put on the screen for you guys. So in the beginning, you get this beautiful, juicy grapefruit that is kind of reminiscent of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue once again. You have that apple that smells very familiar, but this takes it in a little bit different direction because it has bluebell. So bluebell gives a beautiful aquatic floral touch that gives it that watery effect that's going to be so cooling and so refreshing. So this is perfect for if you were getting out of the gym or going to the beach or just an office day. And then on the dry down, you get this really beautiful cedar wood that gives it a little bit of a unisex edge. I think anyone would enjoy this. So that is Core Memory by Dime. So for those of you who are obsessed with musky rose fragrances, this one is an incredible blind buy. This is L'Aventure Rose by Haramain. Now, the lasting power. We have to talk about the lasting power. This lasts on clothes until you wash them, and it lasts on your skin about 10 to 12 hours with a beautiful projection. It's not too suffocating, but it will most definitely get some attention. It will create a nice bubble around you, and it just has this beautiful warming characteristic. As opposed to a cold white musk, this is a warm skin musk, almost giving a slight vanilla touch, along with a beautiful rose that isn't too mature whatsoever. It's not that like rose water type of rose, but rather a beautiful, elegant rose, along with some red berries that give it a little touch of sweetness, and it is so sophisticated smelling for the price. So this, if you like rose, if you like a vanilla-ish musky rose, this hands down is the best affordable rose that I can give to you guys. Now for another warm musky fragrance, but taking it a little bit more in the gourmand direction. So if you like something sweet, but you also like something a little warm and cozy, we're gonna go with this one right here. This is Choco Musk by Rehab, and this, talk about affordable. This is $12, I think, on Amazon, and it's totally worth the $12. You get this almost smooth, creamy milk chocolate. But then with the musk, it gives a little bit of a powderiness along with an ambery, warming dry down. And there's just a little baby hint of cinnamon. I do not care for cinnamon in fragrances. I love it in food, but in fragrances, I find it very, I don't know, it just doesn't mix well with my skin. But in this, it just adds that little bit of warming quality. This is so beautiful, and it kind of smells like when you open a box of Cocoa Puffs, but a little bit more elegant than that. So for $12, it's warming, it's sweet, and it kind of ticks all the boxes for fall time. So this would be a total banger for fall time. Which makes me think, would you guys be interested in seeing a video that is transitional fragrances from hot to cool weather? Something that would fare well in late summer, early fall. I feel like that can be such a big shift for people because it goes from fruity and fresh and aquatic to all of a sudden these dark, masculine, thick, heavy fragrances, and I would love to bridge the gap in between. So if you're interested in that, leave me a little comment down below so that way I can gauge your interest. I've got another one for those of you who like the effortless, minimalistic type fragrances for every day. This is 000 by Le Monde Gourmand. You can find these for $25 at Urban Outfitters, and it's a cute little package. And this to me is a beautiful, smooth, creamy sandalwood. So you're getting a little bit of sweetness, and then on the opening, you're getting a little bit of a tart, juicy, refreshing bergamot. You also have a little bit of water lily that gives a very sheer, faint floral effect. But this, in essence, is that clean skin, woody, creamy fragrance. It definitely has a creamy aspect to it, and this is so perfect for every day. So if you're kind of sensitive to fragrances, you want something very chill, but you want to smell really good, this is going to be your best friend. That's 000 by Le Monde Gourmand. So for those of you who really love floral fragrances, this one is going to be a no-brainer. This is Flower Moon by Pacifica. This is a beautiful modern jasmine fragrance. It's got a little bit of peach in there to give it a little bit of sweetness, but to me, this is a gentle, delicate floral fragrance. It's got a little bit of vanilla to give it a bit of a creamy touch, but that jasmine does come off a little bit aquatic as well, so it's a very interesting mix for the price. I think this is pretty unique for what it is. This is feminine, it feels light and dewy and green and crisp, along with a little bit of sweetness and just the slight bit of creaminess to offset that little bit of crisp greenness. So this is a beautiful floral. If you like jasmine, this is not indolic, this is not pissy smelling, it's not mature smelling, it just smells refined, elegant, and modern. And if you want something that is bright and juicy and happy and fruity, then you're gonna go with this. This is by Mixbar, and this is called Sparkling Hibiscus. And this is tart, but also effervescent. It almost smells sparkling. Something about this kind of almost gives me the impression of a rosé. It's almost like a red berry sparkling champagne. It is juicy, it's tangy, it's fruity, it is so good for summer, and it's very playful. Does it feel a little bit young? Yes, it does. But sometimes you want to feel like that if you're going to the beach or if you're going to an afternoon party where it's really hot outside. This would be very fun to chuck on, and it would pair well with a hot pink dress. I don't know why that comes to mind, but bright yellow, bright pink. Think of these fun, flashy colors. That's what this reminds me of. For those of you who want something more on the slightly masculine, clean and fresh, almost clean laundry type of vibe, we're gonna go with this one. This is another one from Le Monde Gourmand, and this is called Bleu. This is watery and musky, and it has a slight bit of salty freshness in the beginning, along with a refreshing bergamot and a little bit of pink pepper, so that way it gives it a little bit of that masculine edge that I was talking about. If you like things like Bleu de Chanel, imagine its young, fresh, younger brother. That's what you're going to get out of this. I would say it's unisex, but a lot of people would say that this leans slightly more on the masculine side because it has some violet in it, which is popular in men's fragrances or things that are marketed towards men. So if you like something that almost smells like clean laundry hanging on a cliff outside of a beach with the salty air, that's what you're going to get out of this. That is Bleu by Le Monde Gourmand. It has been a very long time since I have had a Bath & Body Works fragrance in my collection because I complain that their longevity is terrible, but for $5, what can you expect? I got this on sale for either $4.50 or $5. It was ridiculously cheap. And this one is Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte. Now, I thought that this was going to smell like a fall candle, if I'm being honest. I thought it was going to be cinnamon, pumpkin heavy, but it's totally not. This smells like toasted marshmallow and musk. It's warming. It's a really good layering fragrance for your fall winter fragrances. If you want something that's just going to amp up a little bit of that toasty sweetness, a little bit of muskiness, that warm skin kind of feel with some sweetness, this I use more as a layering tool, but you could certainly wear it on its own. The longevity isn't great. I digress, it was $5. So that is Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte by Bath & Body Works. Now I'm tossing this in here because there has been a lot of hype around Pink Cloud that just came out as the addition to the Ariana Grande line. Now, I tried that one at Ulta, and in the beginning I did get some differences between Cloud and Pink Cloud. It was a little bit more juicy, you didn't have that lavender, it was a little bit more fruity, but on the dry down, they smelled nearly indistinguishable. Indistinguishable. Now, I know a lot of us are in areas where we have a Ross, we have a TJ Maxx, so you can get the original Cloud for very inexpensive, but even more affordable. If you are falling into the hype of Pink Cloud, I would try this one here. Now, it's not a perfect dupe, but this is Good Chemistry Coffee Cloud. And it has that beautiful, sweet sponge sugar airiness, along with having a little bit of a masculine edge to it. But the difference between this and Cloud is in the beginning, I get a little bit more of a tart red berry or citrus type opening. Do I really get any coffee in this? Not really. It would be like the most light Starbucks, like vanilla bean frappuccino, far, far off in the background. That gives a little bit of creaminess, but it's overtaken by that sponge sugar and slightly masculine accord. So this is a beautiful fragrance. The performance is fantastic. And you can get this super affordable at Target, I think for about $20. So that is Coffee Cloud by Good Chemistry. And the last one on my list, once again, is a little bit closer to that $50 range. This is $48, and this is by Charli D'Amelio, and this is called Born Dreamer. Now, they've been very generous to send this to me, and they have also sent me copious amounts of refills, of which my husband immediately yanked. He loves this fragrance, and I've noticed that he likes sweet, light, feminine, musky fragrances that have some fruitiness, and that's exactly what you're going to get out of this. So this has an Anjou pear that feels a little bit more like a baked pear. It has a little bit of syrupy sweetness along with the note of sugar, so you can imagine that this is sweet. But don't think of a heavy sweetness. This has an airiness to it, along with a floral component. So if you ever wore Saint by Kat Von D on the dry down, that is what this smells like. It is clean and musky. If you like Burberry Her EDT, I think that you would like this. They both have that musky pear sort of thing going on, but Burberry Her EDT is a little bit more of a juicy pear versus this is a little bit different of a take. So I think that you guys should check this one out. We're gonna keep it short and simple today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you are new here, make sure that you subscribe so that way you can see my videos every Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. And if you're not new here, make sure that you like the video as it helps pump this out to other people so that way we can get a bunch of people in our army. As always, I appreciate you guys, and until next Saturday, take care of yourselves, my friends.